Hey guys, good morning. Happy Tuesday. As you can see, I just got back in from my 6 mile hike and I have a lot more to talk about. I have been thinking constantly about, from the last video, talking about Tucker Carlson's whole issue, paranoia, replacement theory, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that whole bunch, and their whole idea that they're, like Tucker Carlson saying, that his political capital is being watered down. And the more I think about this, it doesn't even make sense. It really doesn't. You know what? The bottom line here is I really believe this is just people who probably have treated minorities badly in the past, realizing that sooner or later, possibly, they will be the minority. And they're fearful that there will be vengeance for this. Again, with the Republicans and conservatives, I see they look at the negative side of humanity so much. It's always, people, they're going to lie, they're going to cheat, they're going to steal, they're going to be lazy. And I've always had, I've always looked, I'll get into that more, all right? But I realized I might have skimmed over one of the key, I always think about arguments that the other people will make if it was going to be a debate. After I made that video, I thought about, I might have skimmed over one of the probable points that somebody else the other side might think they have. Okay. People coming up from the southern border, Hispanics. Now, again, I find this incredibly insulting to this entire demographic of people, but okay, let's talk about this. So Tucker Carlson is talking about his political capital, his voting, his vote meaning less, right? So we're talking about these children, they're coming across the border voting, okay? Now, if he's talking about his vote being watered down, how many Republicans voted in the last election? 75 million? Okay, how much would it take to water that down realistically? If there was, say, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 immigrants crossing the border, and they all voted Democrat. We're talking about 75 million Republicans. That's like one drop of water into a bottle of whiskey. It wouldn't water down much at all, right? I mean, realistically, it'd have to be to even make a difference. And again, we're wrongly assuming that these people this demographic doesn't have their own priorities, such as religion or faith or whatever. That they're all just going to feel beholden to the Democrats, being fearful of losing their citizenship for some reason. And they're all going to vote Democrat. All right, so you need maybe 1 million, right, to even make a difference, to even water down Tucker Carlson's vote. So how long would that take? Realistically, we're talking 5 or 10 years. These kids have to grow up to even become legal age to vote. If we're talking 5 or 10 years, realistically, in order for what this paranoid vision that Tucker Carlson is forecasting, realistically, it's not something that's going to happen tomorrow, or even in 2022. It's just not possible that there'll be enough people to even make a difference to theoretically water down his vote. All right. So in 5 or 10 years, all these immigrants will have gone through the system and they will have become, if they're voting, they become legal citizens. In order to vote, they're going to have to be legal citizens. 5 or 10 years from now, they're going to be settled in. 5 or 10 years from now, all these children are going to be of legal age. They're going to have their own families, their own businesses, their own jobs, their own children. I don't see any way, shape, or form how they would now still be fearful of getting kicked out of the country and having to vote for Democrats. Quite the contrary. What I found with human nature is people hate to owe other people anything. I think it would backfire terribly on Democrats if they were to pull something like that in 4 years, 6 years, whatever, 8 years. Well, we allowed you guys to become citizens, you kind of owe us the vote. I think it's human nature. And then on top of that, look at what this demographic of people are fleeing from. Cronyism, nepotism, corrupt governments, right? That's what they're fleeing, on top of other things, the cartels, the danger, the kidnapping. But that type of government is what they are fleeing. Honduras, I don't want to name any specific countries, right? So why would they come here to escape that? 5 or 10 years from now, they establish their own families. You know, they're striving for the American dream. Why would they possibly become part of that same system they fled? With cronyism, nepotism, feeling beholden, feeling like they owed a debt of gratitude to the Democrats. I think, you know what? Before I made this video, I actually thought about deleting the video I made before that and not making this one, because I started to think that I'm making almost too good an argument for this demographic, the refugees, the immigrants, the Hispanic people crossing over. I'm almost making too good an argument, possibly, for them to vote Republican. In 5 or 10 years, these people will all have their own families, and it goes against human nature that they would even feel owed to the Democrats. Again, getting back to this fear tactic that I seem to see over and over again. The reason I think this, let me just tell you guys why I truly believe. When you ever hear a liar will think everybody's lying, or a thief will think everybody is stealing. And a lot of times, Republicans, they think everybody's going to be lazy. They're going to look for handouts, or everybody's going to cheat. And I've become weary of people that always expect the worst from humanity. And I'll tell you why. When I used to use back years ago, 2 decades ago, I remember, this is what changed my mind. I really believed, when I talked to anybody else, I really believed the majority of people, other people used something or drank or were somewhat addicted to something. I really believed that. Looking back now, it was partly guilt, and denial. I didn't want to believe that I had a problem. I thought everybody else does it to some extent. Everybody drinks, everybody's this or that, or, marijuana or whatever. Everybody's addicted to something. Now, seriously, 14 years ago, 4 months and 3 weeks ago, on October 23rd, 2006, I got clean and sober, completely 100% clean and sober. Since then, this is the thing. I truly believe this has almost got me in trouble. I truly believe that everybody else is clean. I assumed that other people were clean. Because now I can't imagine using. I can't imagine taking a drink. And I just assume that other people, I automatically start to think that other people feel the same way I do. And this is almost I've had to stop doing that. Because I can't have people that are using or hiding their using or that around me. I can't allow that in my circle at all. I have to be very careful of that. And it's almost happened where I assume somebody is clean and sober, just because they tell me that. And I've gone over this over and over again. I can't assume that everybody else is clean and sober. But I realized that when I was using, I thought everybody else was using. When I was clean, I thought everybody else was clean. And I truly believe this. So now when I see, a lot of times this has to do, I don't like to stereotype, but with the Republican, conservative, the Trumpers, they tend to look at the negative side. It's always a paranoia thing, that they're warning that everybody's cheating. These people are cheating. These people are lying. These people, if you give people too much money, they're going to be lazy. They're going to sit home and not want to work. I've never, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine, I paint because I love to paint. I paint and give stuff away. I would paint even if I didn't get paid for it. And I have to wonder about people that always are looking at the negative side of life. You hear this sometimes, that a liar will think everybody else is lying. A cheater will think everybody else is cheating. And it kind of worries me sometimes. It makes me a little less trusting, a little more suspicious sometimes of Trumpers or conservatives that are constantly seeing the bad side of people. In my heart, I believe that people will do the right thing. I truly believe that. When it gets down to it, people are good. People are honest. People will do the right thing. That's not always true, but I truly believe the majority of people do. And if they don't do the right thing, if they tend to lie more, I really think this is a matter more of age. And with maturity comes doing the right thing. When I was younger, I used to think I could get over on the system, that I was a little bit smarter, a little bit craftier, a little bit slicker than everybody else. And I think a lot of younger people, I think it goes with all humans, all living creatures probably. You know, with age comes wisdom. And I don't think it's, you know, the way Tucker Carlson paints this, it's this demographic of mostly Hispanic people coming over the border. And he paints them as taking a handout and wanting to live on handouts. And then being beholden or being in debt to the Democrat Party. You know, and feeling like they, you know, no human being wants to be in debt to anybody. People enjoy work. People enjoy looking back and having accomplished something in the day. Just the other day, by 5:30 in the morning, I put new tires on my bike, and that made me feel great for the rest of the day. And I think people are just naturally like this. They enjoy doing things, and I don't understand. I have to question people that tend to always see the negative in everybody else. It makes me wonder about them. All right, you guys have a good Sunday. I'll be back later with another video.